Hello, everybody, and welcome to the September 28th, 2016 edition of the Ephrom Josine Show. I am your host, Ephrom Josine. Now, it should be known, it's going to be the last roundup where we're in double digits for episodes because next week is actually going to be our 100th episode, and that's also going to be the day Kavanaugh's voted on. So I guess that will be our gift for everyone, assuming they don't push it back again. Uh, so that's going to be fun. But anyway, as normal, since it's the last episode of the month, I always do a general roundup to give you an idea of what's going on. The first thing to note is I am working with getting a publishing branch of the Efron Report up and going, and it's going to happen by summer next year. And essentially, it's going to publish books that are either going to be, they're not going to be fiction, at least not very often, because I personally can't stand fiction. But they're mostly going to be nonfiction, either apolitical or left of center books, or at least left of center in U.S. context. Because I'm probably considered right of center in Venezuela or somewhere like that. But U.S. context left of center is a general rule. You can, of course, always ask if you want to write a book for us. The idea as of right now is to give you 50% of what the book makes, but that will also depend on how much we can make in profit off of it. I know we're running left of center bookshop that involves being private. It's almost like capitalism still exists. But if you're interested in that, just let me know. The rule is essentially for that. More or less, you just gotta write something kind of interesting. Write something that interests you. And maybe it will interest me, who knows. And I'll usually let you publish it. As for fiction books, the rule there is more or less just give me an idea. It doesn't have to be something I've never heard of before, because every idea has been done. But have a twist on it in some way. You know, don't make the next Hunger Games, or don't try and make the next Hunger Games. Write something, and if it ends up being the next Hunger Games, that's fine. And maybe I'll reject it, and it will actually be the next Hunger Games. Who knows? Never give up is what I'm saying. Even if I reject you, never give up. We're still always looking for more columnists at the Efron Report. Unfortunately, that's still unpaid, but due to that, you can write more sparsely. Really, you just need to write about once a month. As for how this show is going to be changed up, first off, I will make sure you can see me by the end of this year. But also, with the 100th episode, I'm trying to do more of a format. I've been trying to incorporate more of a format, and that's basically news story column is the idea. Where I read a news story, then I read a bad column. Also, speaking of columns, I'm pushing back columns on Efron Report to once a week. If only because doing everything is taking up so much of my time as it is. Running everything's taking up so much time. Again, once I can get it more comfortable, I'll try and make it like 7 a week. Because I want to do columns as often as I can. I want to be able to do one like every day. I really do. But I just don't always have the time, so I think once a week's the best I can do at the moment. I'm sorry for that. What else? Oh, yeah. I also want to incorporate more interviews on the show. Now, not going to be like CNN, we get senators on, or at least at first. It may evolve into that at some point. However, it's mainly going to be people who have the best experience. For instance, one of the things we've been talking about is foreign intervention. I want to actually have people from countries whose politics the U.S. has meddled with before on here, on the show, or DSA members, or people who I think would be interesting to have on, people who can have a discussion with, and they're going to break down the news with me. They're going to, we're going to read some stories together and talk about them, and they're going to connect to what they've been doing, and it's going to be fun, essentially. And there will be people I don't agree with, of course, on here too, both from the left and from the right. I will try and get a few interventionists on here every now and then. Not as often, and the thing is with that, though, is I don't want to do the Rubin thing, or the thing Rubin got infamous for, where he essentially just says, I agree with you the entire time, regardless of what the guest is saying. I do actually want to have, or Joe Rogan also got kind of infamous for this. I essentially I'm playing with a lightsaber right now. I have my own view. They have our own view. I'm going to talk it out and then let you guys decide. But anyway, that's it. I'm Ephrom, and good night. See you next month.